Afro boxing on a mic with another video. We're gonna be talking about Ben Whittaker and Oleksandr Usyk today. Before we get started, hit that subscribe button because we're on the road to 1,000 subscribers and we are almost there. So Ben Whittaker is a prospect that is currently 10-0. He has washed any competition that has been placed in front of him. Questionable first fight with Liam Cameron, but I digress. The reason we are talking about Ben Whittaker is because he's been calling out David Benavidez. That's not even what I want to talk about. What I want to talk about is that it's time for Ben Whittaker to take a step up in competition, and it's that Ben Whittaker versus Benavidez fight is probably not going to happen, but his resume is not that impressive. And I understand that he's a prospect, but I would argue if you're going to walk and talk like you're the best, that it is time for an upscale and challenge. You shooting for the stars in Benavidez, great, that'd be awesome. We know it's not happening. Let's be real here. The fights that need to happen are something a little bit more of a challenge, and we're going to talk about that later. There are also people who come to the defense of Ben Whittaker claiming that he's just a prospect and that it's too early for him to take that big fight. I think this opinion is a little bit disingenuous because you can't use the he's a prospect excuse when fans are asking more of him at the same time. But yet he's a prospect walking, talking, and challenging like he's the #1 in the world. Look at his fights. No surprise, he walks that ring like he's the greatest ever, which is great. It's a great attitude to have. But let's face it, you are wiping the competition that is placed in front of you. You're 10-0. We need to step up here. No more cakewalk fights, no more tailored fights, no more none of that. It's time for a real challenge for Ben Whittaker. I want to see what he has inside of. So who can that person be? Well, how about we got Conor Wallace, Zach Parker, or even Oleksandr Gvozdyk? That would be awesome. The hype around him is perfect. He has showed the promise. I'm not saying he's a bad boxer. I'm not saying he's incapable. Now is the time to bring in someone that's really gonna challenge Ben Whittaker. Moving on, in other news, Oleksandr Usyk is challenging Deontay Wilder. This to me is an absurd call out. It just seems like a money grab, and I don't have no problem with Oleksandr Usyk. If you watch this channel, you know I'm a big fan of Oleksandr Usyk. My issue is that Wilder is long past his prime. We have seen the best of Wilder and those days are gone. People would argue that Usyk has the right to pick and choose who he wants to fight because he took all the fights whenever, wherever. But in boxing, and this is not news to anyone that watches boxing, in boxing we want the best to box the best. Usyk is going to batter Wilder for 12 rounds. Of course Wilder has a puncher's chance, but this is a real one-sided affair. Wilder is a big name and there's no real reason for Usyk to be fighting him other than the fact that it is a cash grab because of the name value. I would have liked Usyk to pick from Wardley, Kabyle, or even Okolie, like Lawrence Okolie. That would have been a step up from this challenge. So I'm not buying the bull excuse of Oleksandr Usyk fought in everyone's backyard. Like, I get that's great, and then people are saying he's allowed to do whatever he wants. To me, that's bullshit. Super disingenuous. What is the point of being a champion if you're not defending your title against the best? A title that is now vacated, by the way. That makes no sense. We all know Usyk versus Wilder is a meaningless fight. It's indicative of a cash grab fight. It doesn't do anything for anyone's legacy. It is a one-sided fight for Usyk, barring the puncher's chance that Wilder might have. Fabio Wardley's camp has weighed in stating, why didn't he give up the belts beforehand? He was supposed to fight the winner and he didn't honor that. If he had given up the belt, it would have been Parker versus Wardley for the world title. He had no interest in fighting Fabio Wardley. Before the fight, in principle, we had agreed to all the demands that Fabio would fight Usyk if Fabio won. If we didn't need to fight Parker, we chose to fight Parker because we were running straight towards Usyk. Usyk is doing the opposite. He's running away from adversity while we're running towards Usyk. I've never known Usyk to be a runner or to duck and dodge a challenge. To me, all this is strange. To vacate a title for what seems to be no apparent reason, to then pick up a fight with a 40-plus-year-old Deontay Wilder, it's cause for suspicion and to raise a few eyebrows at Oleksandr Usyk's camp. Very unusual behavior from the champion. You let me know in the comment section below what you think of the Ben Whittaker take, what you think of Oleksandr Usyk and this whole stuff. It's been your boy Afro Boxing on the mic. Do not touch that dial because we're still talking boxing in this next video. Bring the beat in, hit the subscribe button. Peace.